Something kind of strange happened over the last decade. It was this quiet, almost invisible change, a fundamental human ability, something we'd spent thousands of years perfecting, just started to fade away. And the weirdest part? Most of us didn't even notice it was happening. Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dig into the app that quietly took control of how all of us move.
And it really all boils down to this one simple question. Seriously, I want you to think about it for a sec. When was the last time you were truly lost? I mean, properly, hopelessly lost, without that little digital safety net in your pocket ready to save you. Yeah, for most of us, that feeling, that entire experience, it's just gone.
This quote, it just hits the nail on the head, right? This loss wasn't some big dramatic event. It was more like a slow, almost polite handover of a skill we've had forever. We just gave it away, one turn at a time, to the app that's always with us, Google Maps.
All right, so let's get into our first section, losing the ability to get lost. See, before our phones started telling us where to go, getting from A to B was a totally different game. It wasn't about just following instructions, it was this active thing you did in your head. And getting lost, that was just part of the adventure, A totally normal part of the process.
And this chart, wow, it really lays out the difference, doesn't it? We went from building these complex maps inside our own heads to just, blindly following that blue line on a screen. Our own judgment got swapped out for the app's total confidence. And just like that, getting lost went from being a part of exploration to being an error, a bug that needed fixing. And that, right there, is how simple convenience slowly turned into total dependency.
Okay, on to section 2, the brain on GPS. So what's the actual cost of all this? What does outsourcing our sense of direction actually do to our brains? Well, it turns out there's a pretty big trade-off.
And the science here is, it's really clear. Study after study shows the same thing. When we lean on GPS all the time, the parts of our brain that handle spatial memory, the bits that build those mental maps, they just quiet down. They show way less activity. It's like a muscle that we've just stopped using. And really, the logic behind it is super simple. Our brains are all about efficiency. They're kind of lazy, but in a smart way. If some tool, like our phone, is doing the heavy lifting, the brain just goes, okay, cool, I don't need to worry about that anymore. So why would we remember the route? We just don't have to.
This brings us to a really important idea called cognitive friction. That little bit of mental effort it takes to figure something out, that struggle? That's the magic spot. That friction is where learning and memory are actually built. And what are navigation apps designed to do? Eliminate that friction completely. But here's the catch. By making things so easy, they also take away the very thing that makes our internal compass stronger.
All right, section 3, the map shapes the world. And this is where things get even crazier, because the impact isn't just what's happening inside our own heads. As millions and millions of us started following that same blue line, the map literally started to change the world around us.
So how did this even happen? Well, the change was huge. Google Maps went from being just a static digital picture of the world to this live, constantly learning system. And every single one of us, with a phone in our pocket, we became a tiny sensor. Every trip we took fed data back into the system. Traffic, speed, everything. Making the map smarter and smarter with every single car on the road. And this created this incredible feedback loop. So step 1, the map just showed you what the world looked like. Step 2, it started learning from all of us, seeing how things really worked. And then step 3, the big one, it started shaping reality. It began actively rerouting traffic, changing how our cities flow, all based on its own super efficient logic.
And you can see the results in the real world. Suddenly, quiet little neighborhood streets become major traffic shortcuts. The survival of a small business can literally depend on where its pin is dropped on the map. Our cities started to operate not based on human planning, but on the invisible hand of an algorithm that's only looking for efficiency.
Which brings us to section 4, the illusion of choice. Because this goes even deeper to the very idea of choice itself. The app feels like it's helping you, right? But underneath, there's this powerful hidden philosophy that's steering your decisions in ways you probably don't even notice. I mean, think about it. The app gives you, say, 3 different routes. And you feel like you're in charge. You're making a choice. But take a closer look. What are you actually choosing? You've got the fastest route, the pretty fast route, and, the other fast route. The choices you get have already been squeezed through this one single filter. What's the most efficient? And that right there tells you everything about the system's philosophy. It's all about throughput.
It could not care less about the scenic drive, or the cool neighborhood, or the quiet street. It's optimizing for one thing and one thing only: speed. The journey itself, totally irrelevant. The only thing that matters is getting you there as fast as humanly or algorithmically possible.
And let's not forget about the voice, right? In 200 feet, turn left. It's so calm, so confident, it never sounds unsure. And that tone of pure, unwavering authority, it's incredibly persuasive. It literally trains us to stop thinking for ourselves, to turn off our own judgment, and to just do what we're told. We basically hand over the steering wheel, mentally speaking. So our final section, what we handed over. And as we start to wrap this up, it's so important to remember this wasn't some kind of hostile takeover by technology. Nope, this was a voluntary delegation. It was a choice that we all made because we wanted an easier, more certain way to get around. And this is the final trade-off, laid out plain and simple. What did we gain? Speed, but we lost awareness. We gained efficiency, but we let our own memory for places just waste away. We gained the amazing comfort of certainty, but we lost something really valuable, the experience of figuring things out for ourselves when we're not so sure.
And this quote really flips the whole script, doesn't it? Technology isn't the bad guy here. It's just a tool that got so good, so convenient, that all of us, together, just kind of decided to stop practicing the old skill. At the end of the day, the responsibility for that, well, that's on us.
And that's really the heart of it all. Google Maps didn't steal our sense of direction, we handed it over, freely. It was a slow, gradual process, a willing trade. We gave up a core human skill for a life with less friction. And it happened every single time we got in the car and chose to follow that little blue line instead of trusting our own gut. So that leaves us with one last question to chew on. After all these years of letting the app do the thinking, if that blue line just vanished tomorrow, would we even remember how to find our way home? Thanks so much for joining me for this one. I'll see you in the next video.